Hi friends, it's Katie from I Like to Cut and Paste, and tonight I am showing you guys this junk journal I did for hashtag JJ Madness, which is Junk Journal Madness, hosted by Susan over at I Truly Love It. This junk journal I made out of a cookie box. And I put these dangles on here. I showed this over on my Instagram page, but I wanted to talk about it. And it will take me longer than the 3 minutes they give you over there. So that's okay. That's okay. So, like these beads. So I painted them black because, and you can see it's very grungy because that was the theme. And the co-collaborator, was Lo Frufu, and she loves grunge also. So this is what color, this is where I got the beads from. Those are so pretty and rainbow, right? You wouldn't even know they are from the same package, except for their little goldness. Yes. So some have a little bit of color that come through. And can I tell you guys a secret? I'll tell you why I painted them black. It is because I was able to string the first two, and then I could not get more than like two onto one of these. And this is like floss that I binded my book with. And I would guess I was tired that day, and I was like, you know what? Bump this. I am going to use different beads. And so I'm not mad at them, these beads here. And then I even put a little bit of black paint on them. And then I went ahead and did the charms because the charms were too shiny. You know, I wanted it to be authentic as far as grunge goes. So it's like a little postcard. There it is. So, and then this is like red material with like this black lace material on top of it. And then I had put some like black paint kind of everywhere because of how I did the edges here. And this originally was just a canvas with the printed clocks, and I used sprays to give it that distress look. There's the back right there. And then on the inside is actually some old wallpaper samples, right? A little black paint, best friend, some splatters. There's splatters all over my desk now. They go kind of far, you know, you don't realize it. So this is the first page. The adventure begins, and I use some, that's like Tim Holtz. And then Curious, there's a strained fascination. And I did a collage thing, and I distressed it. This is ribbon, and then I don't use ribbon on the back side because it kind of was very pretty the way it was cut. But this side I kind of trimmed it out, and it's here too. And then these were pages. So this took me like 2 weeks, and I will probably add to this journal. These are papers I put in. I wanted everything to have a distressed look. This was a tag I had made from Shinuki Art. She shows how to make these tags. Like dictionary pages and stuff, and if I'm smart, I will link it down below so that you can find out. It's super easy, and then like sky's the limit after that. This little guy is Quirky Steampunk from Giraffe Creative Studio. Here's Die Cut, Tim Holtz. This background pocket is from Tracy Fox Creative. This was from last year's Creep on June collection for Craftly Hall, and I still have different papers and stuff, and this was a pocket envelope kind of thing. Oh, just beautiful, beautiful. Inspire, piece of Tim tape right there, Ladybug. And then I had made this tag. That's fun, right on the back. I want to say this mushroom card is from the Paper Outpost. And then this is like a Tim Holtz tissue paper printed, and then I used distressed crayon and some scorched timber distress ink on it. Like I just kind of flicked it. This right here, y'all. Oh, so good. So, crayons are amazing, right? They're so fun. And then that was just a different tissue that, this was on the roll. This was flat. This was the printed kind. And then this paper is from Echo Park, and it was great grunginess. Old Echo Park, I'm sure it's older than 5 years. And then Natasha from Treasure Books has a video about how to make these borders, like all sorts of different borders. And the one that I love and always can remember is like I have a ruler that makes holes every like ½ inch. So I go down, I mark them, I punch them, and then I tie the tool through, and I have so much tool. And then I balance it with 2. I have some brown, like I had big plans for this, my friends, big plans. All right, there's the middle of the signature, and those are the beads that are there. See, there's more. This first signature is kind of like a guy signature, and then you'll see the next signature. So this is from Graphic 45, an old collection. And I believe this is I don't know where I got that from. That's another printable, but it's like a double pocket. And then I used Black Suits Distress Crayon in the middle there because I had peeled it off. And then there's a page with like kind of embossed keys. And then this is a side tuck. And then this is just a Tim Holtz card. And then this is graph paper that I used some ink on. And then this is, I really want to say it's a Tracy Fox paper. And then this is an altered CD cover, or CD sleeve. And Graphic Creative Steampunk. And then I actually used collaged different papers around and used Finnebar wax to grunge it up. And on here, I stamped it, I believe, after the fact. I'm not sure. Maybe I stamped first. And there's a wolf. I say he's guarding Agent 1929, a rub-on by Tim Holtz. And so you could, like, put something there if you wanted to. All right, those pages, they're sadly blank. But that's okay. That's okay. You can write on them or whatever. So I had made a reel with her. She's Graphic 45. And I've had this paper for a while, and my husband, he bought me this cool set, and it's got chipboard and stickers. And at the time, I was scrapbooking, and I didn't know where she would go. And so here she is. It is spelled out magic. We've got gears. That's that might be cracked pistachio, but it matched that green behind her because I cut her out of the 12 by 12 paper. So you flip her open. She's got a robot arm, y'all. Look at that. Robot arm. I never noticed that until I was going through the papers, and it just makes me laugh. I think it's so cool. And then I used gold, I guess it's gold, perfect pearls. And I add a little water, make it a little shiny. All right. And then here's a belly band. And then I told you, that's my favorite stamp. And then I had this floating around. It's like a plastic kind of cameo. She's a little glittery, but I thought she looked good there. And then I think that this is a Tim Holtz tag. Yeah, it is. And then these are like dried flower stickers that a friend of mine gave me. Stickers, I already like that, so that was cool. And so there's a pocket in this belly band. And then another Tracy Fox pocket, which I believe is empty. So yeah, there's that dictionary page, scrunched that up. So then I had blank pages, and so for this I stamped, and then I put like vintage photo, and I have a scorched timber crayon, and then I put like a scrapbook paper from a small pad on it, and I don't know, it's just cool. Turned out good. So there's that, your little femininity, right? The clocks, I like this paper because it kind of ties back into the cover. This is, somebody gave this to me, but there's like a couple of them, and so they're like this little, I don't know, not needlepoint, but kind of made doily with a little gem, and then this like little delicate lace. I thought this was great. Collaged. I collaged these first. Used Black Suit distressed crayon and kind of distressed them. And then this is a pocket. And then I think this lady is from Louisa Heinzel's, one of her collections. And then this is a stencil that I used from Tim Holtz with Black Suit crayon, which I hadn't done before. I tried it over here, and you see it did not work over here, but this one worked. And then like a little moth printed die cut and finders keepers. Some little flowers there, so nice. Blank but distressed. Oh, this is the crown jewel. This is so cool. So this is like a gate, right? We're in the middle of the lady's signature. There's the gate, all distressed. All right, that's some Tim Holtz linen tape. Sprayed it, and then you open it up, and it's like, welcome to the garden, secret garden. Right? How cool is that? So these are transparencies of Tim Holtz. That's the graphic 45. And then these flowers, I almost want to say Hobby Lobby, but I've got a couple different versions. I don't think they're Tim Holtz. If they are, this one probably might be. Or Simple Stories. Like I said, I got a bunch, you guys. But I made them tucks. Right? And then here's the background paper. It's kind of fancy. That's fun. And then here's a picture of some ladies, Tim Holtz. I rounded the edges. Yeah, I rounded the edges there. Yeah. So that just, I love this. Love this. I think it turned out so cool. Because I didn't know. I had put that in the middle of the signature, and I was like, whoa, this is pink, and this book is supposed to be grungy. But it worked out. It was good. All right, there's another pink page. There's another, like, use some stamps, use some distressed crayon, and put a cool paper in there. Which I made it into a pocket. That's also, this is one of my favorite. I love this one. I can't recall who's that digital is. So back in the day, felt was really in style for scrapbooks, and this is just like, it was sticky on the back, and it's so soft. My thing was, how are you gonna have like soft items when, if you scrapbook, you would always put them behind the sleeves because you had to archival, right? So I don't know. So I think that's one of the reasons why I love junk journals, is because here it is out in the open and we can enjoy it now. We don't have to hide it behind a sleeve. Oh, this is a tag I made. I think she was supposed to go. I used crackle paste, some gears, make today count. Yeah, so fun. And then here's graphic 45. And this is tailor-made cards for you, I think. That's a bookmark principle. And then I got to use some pretty ribbon. This was cut off from here, so I didn't want to waste it. There's my thing happening there. Distressed crayon, and a paper and a paper. And then now we're rounding out. So this was just pure white. And I probably should have inked that up. So it's probably something I will do in the future. Give it a little grunge. But I like these papers. And this was already kind of grungy. But let me tell you what happened is that I cut it wrong. It was supposed to be like a tall paper. I don't know what I had an idea for one side. But when it didn't work out, you know how that is. But I still wanted to use it, and I like the grunginess of this paper. So I used it in conjunction with this paper. There's the backside dictionary page. This was inspired by Paint Biles on Instagram, and she's got some great stuff. And it's an altered paper clip, but it's like huge. So this is a paper clip. Then I put paper, And then, let me see. You see that like purpley paper there? Yep, that's the base. And then I covered it up and I collaged here. And these are kind of felty trim flowers. And that's kind of metal with a resin flower in the middle. Tim Holtzy stuff. And then some like scrap lace. And this butterfly sticker is Martha Stewart from way back in the day. And some like gold wire netting that I cut. And then I put this gold rickrack. Yeah, just kind of layered it up and just had fun with it. And then that's the end. There it is, you guys. Oops. So I hope you enjoyed that flip through. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye for now.